Good day, grade 11s. My name is Patience Ngobeni, and today I will be taking you through the lesson called Creative Thinking and Problem Solving. Now, in this lesson, we are going to be looking at the practice as well as the application questions. Let's start with our practice questions. I am going to ask you to carefully read the scenario below and then try and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so because I love you so much, we are going to read through the scenario together. Now, in this scenario, as you can see, we are looking at a business called Tasha Clothing. It says there that the employees of Tasha want to use creative thinking to make their products. The management of TC responds enthusiastically to all ideas of employees. They also have suggestion boxes around their workplace where employees are able to communicate their ideas. Now, I believe this scenario is very straightforward. Now, let's look at what the question requires us to do. The question reads and says, quote, 2 ways in which TC creates an environment that stimulates creative thinking in the workplace. Now remember, grade 11s, when the question says quote, you are then required to go back to the scenario, look for a statement, and write it as it is to support your answer. Let's then look at the statement again. The first one says, the employees of Tasha want to use creative thinking to make their products. Now then you need to ask yourself, does this answer the question that is being asked? The answer to that will be no. Then the second statement then says, the management of TC responds enthusiastically to all ideas of the employees. Now this definitely answers the question. So we are then going to quote it. And remember, we are writing the statement as it appears on the scenario. Now remember, we are required to quote 2 ways. So we need to then go back to the scenario and read again. The second statement here says, they also have suggestion boxes around the workplace where employees are able to communicate their ideas. So this does answer the question. So therefore, I am going to then quote it. Remember, as it is from the scenario, no matter how long the statement is. Okay, then now let's look at question 2 of our practice questions. It says there, explain other ways in which TC can create an environment that stimulates creative thinking in the workplace. Now remember, grade 11s, that when the question asks for other, you are then supposed to come up with other responses that are not on the scenario that we have just read. The first one says, encourage alternative or different ways of doing things. In simple terms, you need to encourage your workers as a business to come up with different ways of solving problems that they are not used to. And then it says that train employees to think creatively to solve their problems and use things such as mind mapping to train them. Now, some employees might not know what creative thinking is. So it is very important that as a business, you need to train them on how to think creatively. Businesses must also emphasize the importance of creative thinking so that staff members can know that their ideas will be heard. So if as a business I encourage you as my workers to say that I do value your input and I do encourage you to always come up with ideas, employees will not be shy and they will know very well that it is open in the business for them to come up with different ways of solving problems. Make time for brainstorming sessions to generate new ideas. So you might ask yourself, what is brainstorming? Remember, in the workplace, employees can be motivated to sit together and come up with ideas together. So by brainstorming, they will all be coming up with new ways of solving problems and writing them down. Let's look at our third and final question, which reads, advise businesses on the advantages of creative thinking in the workplace. Remember, grade 11s, that advantages are a good thing. So in your responses, you need to write things that are positive. Businesses will be able to solve complex problems. Now remember that a complex problem is a problem that is a challenge or is difficult to solve. So if we are using creative thinking, it makes it more easier for us to solve these problems. And then better solutions are generated. So which means the solutions that are very good, or the solutions that you would not have ordinarily got if you were applying just normal thinking. Managers and employees have more confidence as they can live up to their full potential. So if an employee is encouraged to think creatively, they have more confidence in the workplace and they are going to work to their full potential, meaning that they will not slack in the workplace because they know that their creativity is being recognized. Businesses will have a competitive advantage if unique solutions are generated or implemented. So obviously, if I am applying creative thinking in the workplace, I am able to come up with very good ideas that my competitors will not have. And as a result, more and more customers are going to buy my product. Before we move to the application question, I would like you to then think of other ways in which a business can come up with new ideas as we head to an ad break.